Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the 6th race of the 2nd season of the NNSCRA SRX Series, as tonight we're under the lights at South Boston Speedway. 14 drivers ready to take the green flag here tonight. That's right, you heard correct. 14 drivers, 2 more drivers added into the series, and you too can be a part of this SRX Series here for the remainder of the 2nd season as well as the upcoming 3rd season by donating to the Back to Bristol GoFundMe fundraiser. Link is in the description below. But here tonight, these drivers prepare for 60 laps of racing around the track labeled about 4/10 of a mile. We are into the second half of this, our 2nd season, and it's getting really tight there for who might be able to get themselves up in the conversation for the championship in a few weeks' time at Nashville Speedway. Here this evening, though, we're getting set here for what should be some really good action based off of what we saw last season. And without further ado, why don't we give you your starting lineup for tonight's event. Row 1 is going to find Jovan Anderson on the pole position. Jovan comes into this race 5th in the points, 9 points out of the points lead. And then Benjamin Miles, our winner from last week, first win of his NNSCRA SRX career at Eldora. He will line up on the outside of the front row. He is 6th in points coming to this one, 15 points out. Dylan Young makes up row number 2 alongside of Seth Cole. Dylan Young, he is currently 9th in point standings. He has a total of 31 points back. And then Seth Cole currently sits runner-up in the point standings, tied for 2nd as a matter of fact. He's 5 points out of the points lead. Row 3 finds Austin LaPlante in the green machine. He's going to be coming into this race 11th in the point standings. Really needs a good run here today. He is a total of, I believe my correction for math is here. He is 34 points out of the points lead. Nope, actually correct that. That's 46 points out of the points lead. And he'll be alongside of one of our debuting drivers here tonight. That is the gold machine of Chris Dollarton. He'll be rolling off from the 6th position, obviously being his first start, has no points up to this point in time. Ali Liera, former winner this season from Knoxville. She's going to make up row number 8 on the inside. She comes into this race your current points leader. And Levi McIntyre will start to her outside, completing row 4. Levi comes into this race in that tie for second place with Seth Cole, 5 points out of the points lead. Completion of the top 10 starts with Michael Norman starting in P9. Michael comes into this race dead last in points. He has a total of 60 points out of the points lead. Not saying it's impossible, but boy, he really needs to find victory lane here tonight if he's going to have a ghost of a shot in 3 weeks' time. He'll be alongside of Jesse Turner in the orange machine. Jesse coming into this race 7th in the point standings. He is only 16 points back from the points lead. Then we move on to row number 6. That's where we find our second debuting driver here tonight, Dylan Poteet in the brown machine. He is going to be on the inside of row 6 alongside of Carson Gum. Poteet, of course, with no points yet, being this his debut in the series. Carson Gum, on the other hand, he comes into this race 4th in the point standings. The defending co-champion has a total of 6 points out of the points lead. Final row, row 7, is where we'll find Nick Gunther on the inside, former winner from Lucas Oil this season. Nick comes into this event 8th in the point standings. He is a total of 27 points out of the points lead. And then Keith Batson will complete the rest of the field. He rolls off from 14th, and Keith is 10th in points coming to this race, a total of 33 points out of the top position. That's the way they're going to line up for tonight's event here from South Boston. Let's go down trackside for those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
Pace car is going to peel off and lead this field behind them. Let's take a look at our race info here tonight. 60 laps of racing in total, 30 laps here for the first stage. We will then invert the field and set them loose for the final 30 laps this evening. So far, 5 races this year. 5 different drivers have gone to victory lane. Jovan Anderson, Levi McIntyre, Ali Liera, Nick Gunther, and Benjamin Miles. All 5 of them getting the first win of their SRX career. Could we go 6 for 6 here this evening? We'll have to wait and find out. These SRX cars look beautiful here under the nighttime lights in South Boston, and we're ready to turn them loose. Green flag is in the air. Jovan Anderson to the point. Dylan Young will move to second. Now he's under fire from Austin. The play is Benjamin Miles gets turned around in the midway portion of the field. Doesn't look like the caution's out. They may have saved it. No, they did not. Michael Norman is up and over. Now the caution will fly. I think the wreck was actually not really a wreck there off of turn 4, but it certainly turned into a calamity corner over in turn 1 as Michael Norman, one half of the defending co-champions coming into this season, this has not been his year. Dead last in points, and now the first caution of the evening may not finish out this first stage under power. They may have to go to a backup car, which will document the ramifications of that in just a moment. As let's go back and see just exactly what happened. It started, I believe, with last week's winner, Benjamin Miles. He's the car that I saw turned sideways off of 4 and onto the front straightaway, and I don't know what it turned into by the time we got down here to turn 1. That's Seth Cole in the yellow car behind Benjamin Miles, gets him in the left rear quarter panel, turns him down into Ali Liera's passenger side door. Oh, and I thought maybe Miles had straightened the car back out, but not the case. Into Norman. Oh, there's Dylan Poteet getting involved here in his debut, and then Seth Cole up and over as well. Chris Dollarton was involved. Jesse Turner gets a piece. Carson Gum may have gotten some damage there on the driver's side. Michael Norman's car finally coming down to rest on all 4 wheels. Well, I didn't have a flip pegged here at South Boston, but we had 2 of them right there. Let's see if we can get another angle. Seth Cole just never got off the left rear quarter panel of Benjamin Miles. Watch the brown car on the right side of your screen. Poteet, pretty good damage. Dollarton is the gold car behind Seth Cole, and I'm pretty sure he got some front end damage. And then further back there, you can't see it on this replay, but you could definitely there see going by. Oh, little contact there from Carson Gumman to Michael Norman, and there you see Jesse Turner definitely got into Miles, as we saw in that other replay, and so he's got front-end damage to deal with as well. So caution out for the first time here tonight. We've got a couple of drivers that are on and off of pit lane, Dylan Poteet being one of them. I believe Seth Cole has been on pit road numerous times. Michael Norman appears to be the only one back in the infield, though. Seth Cole right now being scored a lap down. Had the extended stay on pit road to repair his damage, and that means he will, looks like, be on the inside here for this upcoming restart. We haven't really had to deal with that much here this season. Looks like Dylan Poteet, hoodless and all, he's going to come out there as well. As long as you're under power, you have the opportunity for the field invert to go your way. Michael Norman, with his DNF here in the first stage, he is guaranteed to roll off 14th in the upcoming second 30-lap stint. Green flag in the air. Jovan Anderson gets us back underway. Seth Cole is a lap car, and Austin LaPlante's trying to get around him. He will clear and now put a lap machine between himself and Dylan Young. Dylan Young not going to wait around. He's going to get hooked by Ali Liera, and into the wall they go. Caution will wave again as they're piled up into turn one. Now Jesse Turner's up and over. Benjamin Miles was in that, as was Keith Batson. Drivers having a lot of difficulty getting off the left rear core pails. Now we got a wreck over here for the coming into the turn one when we were under caution. Dylan Young, Jovan Anderson. I wonder if LaPlante might have spun the light blue machine of Anderson. Well, this is turning into something, isn't it? Only 10 laps completed and already working our second caution. We've had 3 flips. A lot of torn up race cars. So something happened actually. There might have been a... Oh, I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. The incident we saw there with Dylan Young and Jovan Anderson was a result of drivers not yet leaving the scene of the original accident and the leaders coming up on it. There was the incident with Dylan Young and Ali Liera. Dylan was trying to get to the inside of Seth Cole, the lap machine. Ali never let up. Dylan Young gets the wall, clips the left rear of Ali's pink machine. And she's going to slide up the racetrack into the path of Jesse Turner. Dylan Poteet also went up into the wall up there further. I don't know if you saw that. He overdrove turn one. Keith Batson going to get a piece. And that slight little tap that he gave to Jesse Turner is enough to turtle the orange machine up and over. Dylan Young did not offer any assistance in tipping Turner over, just stopped and waited there. So while Jovan Anderson, your race leader, is coming around to take the caution, those 2 cars have not yet left the scene on the inside of turn 1. And watch what happens here. Well, Jovan got really loose there off of turn 4 as well. Oh my gosh, what the heck are they doing? Turner's car had just then teleported, and Dylan Young had not left. And Anderson's into Young, LaPlante's into Anderson, and then look out. Nick Gunther, Seth Cole, Levi McIntyre's to the back of Cole. Wow. Well, hopefully the second half of this race is going to be a little bit cleaner. This certainly was not what I was expecting. South Boston last year, from what I recall, was actually really, really exciting race, really good racing and clean racing, but we're not getting that right now. Still going to have that lap machine of Seth Cole to the inside since it's not 10 to go in the stage. Looks like Jovan Anderson, with that damage run to the back of Dylan Young, he's out of the race. Seth Cole's a lap down, Dylan Young's a lap down, and Jesse Turner's a lap down. Dylan Poteet's still on the lead lap, I just noticed. I thought he fell a lap down with his pit stop. He's hoodless but running in the 5th position. We should document, even though there are 14 cars in the field now this season, the remainder of the season, only the top 12 and the finishing results each stage are going to get stage points. Green flag in the air for Austin LaPlante. Nick Gunther has now moved up to 2nd after all this. Levi McIntyre in 3rd, and we're 3 wide with lap cars. Dylan Young, Seth Cole into Gunther, Cole into LaPlante. Oh, this is not good. Somehow they all got through it, but they're beating and banging, rubbing doors, not giving room. They're 3 wide back there for the final spot between Batson, who was the Ali Liera, and Benjamin Miles, I think. 3 wide up here again. And Dylan Poteet, hoodless and all, in his debut, he's going to go to the front. That's the race lead right there. Carson Gum into second. Nick Gunther battling with Levi McIntyre for third. Looks like Gunther's going to get the spot, maybe. Nope, not quite. McIntyre battles back on the top, going into 1. This is the kind of race I was expecting to see at the initial drop of the green flag, and instead we got a bunch of torn up race cars. Carson Gum now going to go to the point. Getting by Dylan Poteet. Nick Gunther going to force Poteet up the racetrack there to slot into second. Right now, with your lap cars, they will all be put back on the lead lap when we get to our stage yellow. I saw some smoke there off of turn 2. Appears to be Benjamin Miles. And I think the engine has gone south on his machine. And that means if he DNFs, that means he would join Jovan Anderson and Michael Norman at starting at the rear of the field for the upcoming second stage. That's last week's winner from Eldora as well. Carson Gum hounding Nick Gunther for the top position now after Gunther took the position away from Carson. Might be these two to settle it out for the stage victory unless Levi McIntyre and Chris Dollarton can get up here. They're pretty close proximity in a battle maybe for third. Dylan Poteet's right there as well. Carson showed the nose on Nick Gunther rather, nothing doing. I have noticed that Benjamin Miles is still sitting on pit road, so if he doesn't officially retire out of the race at the conclusion of this stage, he may be able to get the field invert, and the caution's out. Third time tonight the caution waves here, and who knows who it's for. Could be for anybody. Let's find out. We know it wasn't for Benjamin Miles. He was on pit road at the time of the caution. Gonna look towards the rear of the field here. Oh, I think maybe Dylan Young and Ali Liera. This could be the second time that these two have made contact here tonight. The first time, Ali hooked Dylan Young off of turn 4. That brought out caution number 2. And again, more contact between these two here. And does Dylan retaliate? Yep. Up into Ali, spins her around, and caution's going to wave with oncoming traffic there in the vicinity of the 3 that was getting refired and leaving the scene. So short track's breeding short tempers, and we're not even into the second stage of this race. Nick Gunther, your race leader, trying to see if he can get himself some very valuable stage points. Gunther coming into this race 28 points. Nope, correction. 27 points. Out of the points lead, 8th in the point standings. Carson Gum right behind him in second, 4th in points. Levi McIntyre 3rd in points. Well, technically 2nd in points. Tied for 2nd in points, running right now in 3rd. And how about the debuting drivers here? Chris Dollarton, Dylan Poteet. Bear in mind that these drivers are no strangers to stepping behind the wheel of a race car. They've got a lot of experience in that regard, but making their first start here tonight in the SRX series, I don't think they've ever gotten behind the wheel of an SRX machine. They're doing a pretty good job right now. We're also finding out that with being a short track, you don't have to worry about aerodynamics because Dylan Poteet, hoodless and all, is running inside of the top 5. Jesse Turner, he's a lap down, but he's out there with no hood. Double check and see if Benjamin Miles, Miles is out of the race. They did push him back into the infield, so it looks like Miles will restart in stage 2 12th, Jovan Anderson in 13th, and Michael Norman in 14th place. Right now as things stand, Jesse Turner, albeit 3 laps down, he would end up being the race leader when the field gets inverted, because as I was going to mention before the caution came out, all lap down cars get their laps back, and the field gets inverted that way. So right now, Turner would be in line to start on the pole. Seth Cole would start 2nd, and Dylan Young would start 3rd, as things stand right now. Green flag back in the air. It's going to be a green-white checkered here to finish out stage 1. Gunther tried to get away from Carson Gum. He may have succeeded in doing so. Gum's under fire from McIntyre. White flag displayed here for Nick Gunther. Slipped up the track a little bit there. Carson Gum got a big run out of turn 2, but Gunther's going to go down and pin the bottom, make sure Carson can't get a run on him. Lets it swing wide off of 4, and Nick Gunther is going to pick up the win here tonight at South Boston in stage 1. Carson will get 2nd, McIntyre 3rd, Poteet 4th, and Dollarton will bring it home in the 5th position. So the first points gained here this season for Poteet and Dollarton. See there on your screen, the top 12 that'll get stage points. The 2 that will not, Jovan Anderson and Michael Norman. That's going to hurt Anderson more than anybody because he came into this race only 9 points out of the points lead, 5th in the overall standings. So that is going to do it here for stage 1. Nick Gunther with a big stage victory, but now he'll have to start back in the 11th position, it looks like, when the field gets inverted. We'll see if he can work his way back up the front, pick up win number 2 on the season, win number 2 in the last 3 weeks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here for the second and final stage at South Boston after this commercial break. Welcome back to South Boston Speedway. 6th race of the second season of the SRX Series. Getting ready for our second and final 30-lap stint here to the checkered flag. Jesse Turner, Seth Cole, your front row after Turner was 3 laps down at the end of stage 1. Cole and Dylan Young completing the podium were 1 lap down. And they've got great starting track position now. Green flag in the air here. 30 laps remaining. Will we see a little bit cleaner stage 2 than we saw in stage 1? We'll have to wait and see. Michael Norman, Jovan Anderson, Benjamin Miles all have returned back to the racetrack, all on the lead lap in their backup machines. All started towards the tail. Nick Gunther, your stage 1 winner, rolled off 11th. As we're almost 3 wide back there, that's Dollarton. In his debut, under fire from Levi McIntyre and Dylan Young, Ali Liera completes the pass around Seth Cole, so move her to 2nd. Might be trying to get away from that neon green machine of Dylan Young. Those two have made quite a bit of contact here tonight so far. Dollarton now to the inside of Seth Cole. A little bit difficult to tell those two cars apart. Seth Cole, the bright yellow, the darker gold yellow of Chris Dollarton. But when they're side by side, they almost look like identical paint schemes. Almost, not quite, but almost. There's a shade difference. And Dollarton will complete the pass, move him up to 3rd. McIntyre looking for 4th as Ali Liera had thoughts about the lead on Turner. And she will get to the inside. Ali looking for her 2nd win on the season after picking up the checkered flag at Knoxville. Oh, almost contact there. There is contact. Ali forcing Turner way up the track. He almost got the wall off of turn 2. But muscling her way to the front, Ali Liera. Levi McIntyre now to the inside for third on Chris Dollarton. He'll pick up the spot, and there's your Stage 1 winner, Nick Gunther, from 11th already up to 5th, and looking for more. Really slid up the racetrack there, though, and that opens the door. Jovan Anderson tried to make the move to the inside, not able to just yet. Now he'll go back to the inside again. Second place further on up. Under contest, Levi McIntyre, Jesse Turner. Turner starting to go the wrong direction, and he almost went to the inside wall, courtesy of Dollarton, who almost collected him in the left rear quarter panel. We've already seen here tonight what happens when someone gets hooked in that left rear, especially off of turn 4, and the results are not good. Now Dollarton gonna cleanly complete the pass, it looks like, on Jesse Turner. Anderson's now moved up into the 4th spot, but Benjamin Miles, who had the engine failure back in Stage 1, he's trying to get the position. He almost got in the back of Anderson, and Gunther will take advantage of his having to lift. Gunther looking for P6. Here's he's going to take it. Might have gone 2 for the price of 1 there on Anderson, but not going to be able to. Dollarton back under fire from Turner, who's crossed him over. Trying to move back into the 3rd spot. And Levi McIntyre is slowly but surely, it appears, closing in on Ali Liera. Both of these drivers got their first win this year so far. Ali at Knoxville and Levi at Five Flags. Jesse Turner, a winner last season, looking for his first win on the year in Season 2, as Gunther and Anderson. This is for the final spot inside of the top 5. Benjamin Miles closing there as well. Definitely a much cleaner Stage 2. This is what I was fully expecting to see when we began the race, but end up seeing the caution numerous times. A lot of torn up race cars, a trio of drivers in the garage area. Granted, one of them was due to a mechanical problem. But we knew South Boston brings about great racing from last season, so I was a little surprised to see the caution as much as we did back in the first 30 laps. Dollarton really loose there on the bottom, trying to get the 3rd spot from Jesse Turner, and he'll get it as Turner had to lift through the center of the corner. Now Jovan Anderson, man, that car got wicked loose on entry. Back end wanted to step out, and Gunther will look to take advantage. Shows the nose into turn 1, but not to the left rear. Ali Liera right now seems to be running away with this thing. Levi was closing in on her for a brief moment, but now, lap after lap, Ali's been opening up about a half a tenth. That time by, though, McIntyre did close it up by a full tenth. It's also running out of laps, though, too. Going to be 10 to go next time by. Nick Gunther got by Jovan Anderson. Now he'll look to get by Jesse Turner. Gunther moving back into the 5th spot. Now looking for 4th. Got those good points with the stage victory earlier on tonight. Trying to get himself up into that championship picture. Trying to build off of that stage victory. And he's got the inside advantage on Turner. Going through 1 and 2. He can get the power down off of the corner, then he might be able to get the spot here off of 4. Let's see. Car got a little tight on him, but I think he's got it going into 1. So Nick Gunther now up to the 4th spot. Chris Dollarton trying to close in on Levi McIntyre for 2nd. Nobody closing in on Ali Liera, so let's follow the battle for 5th. That's where Jovan Anderson trying to get around Turner. Remember, Jovan ended up getting no stage points back in the first 30-lap stint due to finishing in the 13th position. Only the top 12 get stage points. So he's trying to gain the points he lost back here, keep himself in the vicinity of the championship. Oh, car in the wall back there. Benjamin Miles got up and into the fence off of turn 2. Dylan Young now going to get to the inside. That's a battle for 9th, I believe. And Ali Liera, while she's not only running away with this race lead, potentially race win, she may be running away with the point standings here too, running away with the championship. Ali came into this race as the points leader. Levi McIntyre running in 2nd was 5 points back. And the difference from 1st to 2nd in points payout is 3 points. So Allie is going to more than likely extend the points lead if she can close out the deal with her second win on the season. Anderson, Turner continue to battle for 5th. Behind them, Seth Cole and Austin LaPlante, I believe that is. Yeah, they're battling for 7th. As this time by, Ali Liera is going to see the white flag. White flag displayed. Ali finished 7th in the first stage, next to last car on the lead lap, which means that she started 5th for the second stage. And she's going to come around. She's going to pick up checkered flag number 2 on the season. Ali Liera, a multi-time winner here in the NNSCRA SRX Series. As she's going to pick up the win here tonight at South Boston. And the points leader with the victory will more than likely extend her points lead going into Slinger, the penultimate race of the season next week. A run there for Ali Liera in her first full-time season in SRX competition under the NNSCRA banner. The first 2-time winner on the season as well. Standings should be official, so let's take a look at them here. McIntyre going to bring it home in 2nd, so he'll keep Liera close for that points lead. Let's remember, too, that Levi finished 3rd in the first stage. Ali finished 7th, so Levi would have gained 4 points there. Ali winning and Levi finishing 2nd, that was 3 points difference. So technically, Levi gained a point on Ali, despite the fact Ali took the checkered flag. So the gap between Ali and Levi, if my math is correct, should be 4 points going into next week. It's a good job there by Levi, even if he didn't pick up the checkered flag, of at least keeping Ali Liera in the same vicinity and still having a shot at that points lead next week. Chris Dollerton, what a debut for him here tonight. He finished 5th in the first stage, 3rd here in the final race results. Nick Gunther had a good night as well, so he may be getting himself back up into the championship hunt after the stage victory and finishing 4th. Jovan Anderson, nice comeback run after his DNF in the first stage to finish in 5th. Jesse Turner was 3 laps down in the first stage, and he'll finish 6th. Austin LaPlante, Seth Cole, Benjamin Miles, and Dylan Young completed the rest of the top 10. Michael Norman was in 11th. Dylan Poteet in his debut, he was 4th in stage 1. Wasn't able to follow it up here in stage 2, as he'll finish in 11th. Keith Batson there or actually finishes in 12th, rather. I'm looking at the car number rather than the actual finishing position for Poteet. 12th place for Poteet. 13th was Keith Batson. Keith was a bit of a non-factor here tonight. 8th in stage 1, 13th in stage 2, so certainly not the performance he was looking for. And Carson Gum faded back there at the end of this one. He finished runner-up in stage 1, but 14th here in stage 2. Remember, Carson came into this race 4th in points, 6 points out. He may lose a bit of ground here today with Liera, McIntyre, Gunther all having good performances in the latter portion of tonight's race. But that is going to do it here tonight, and our calculators are completed. They've got your point standings all figured out for you heading into Slinger Speedway next week. There you see it, and it should be a good one next week at Slinger. We knew tonight was going to be good. Again, didn't expect the Wreckfest in the early stages. Second stage was exactly what I was expecting to see. The good hard racing all the way through the field, but a little bit of a surprise of a lot of tone-up race cars in the early going. And next week at Slinger should be a good one as well, based off of what we saw last season. That will set us up for who's in the hunt for the championship in the season finale at Nashville. Hope you guys will join us for those upcoming races. We appreciate you joining us here tonight for all the action at South Boston Speedway. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, part of the crew today. We showed you your full finish results, we are showing you your point standings, and we will see you guys next week at Slinger National Speedway, as you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.